Hello. I'm hoping this is working. Should be working on my thing. It says that we're live. So why am I not live? Good evening, everybody. Right, just bear with me while I check this technology out here. All right, so streaming, start streaming. All right, let's just see if it's working. Good evening. Right, let's just see if this works. And there we are. Right. Okay. So, yeah, I've entered the right thing. Do you know what? I am going to live stream, close. Right. Okay. Right. Live stream. Change what we're doing. No. Stop. Right. Start live stream. Right. Let me put the video on there. Right. There we go. Good evening, everybody. So I'm streaming now on Telegram. Super. Right. Good evening. We're all here. Thank you for joining me. And if there are any questions, please pop them into the chat box so I can see them. I've got one there. Excellent. Fantastic. Great. So today, day one, mindful eating. How did you find it? I've had a few questions come in, which is great. So I can look at this. So and answer them. If not, pop them into the chat box. What I'm going to do is I'm going to also open the group here so I can see it. Using technology is great. Which helps. So cool. Right. If I move that over there, I can see that. All righty. Good. So live stream there, camera there. We're all good to go. So I had a couple of questions come in, guys. Obviously, you watched the video, which is brilliant. Please drop them in the chat. One of the questions I had is, how can mindful helping help me? Well, mindful eating can help you actually recognize your true hunger and fullness cues. Again, if you've seen the booklet that's in the free group, where we talk about understanding where we're at, how we're getting along with it, okay? See, once you start understanding your hunger and fullness cues, you can actually start enjoying food more. You actually start making healthier choices. Now, here's the thing. If you've been with disordered eating for quite a while, it's going to take some time before you actually start to recognize them, because you're not going to know, okay? But what it can do is, by taking that time to be mindful, by using the tools and techniques that are in the module, it can actually help you break free from the negative eating patterns, like emotional eating and overeating. Because once you start listening to your body and start realizing that actually, am I eating through physical hunger or am I eating through emotional hunger? Now, if you heard me say this before, there is the simple broccoli test, all right, or apple test, but broccoli. If you are physically hungry, a bowl of broccoli, steamed, you'll eat because you're physically hungry. However, if you're emotionally hungry and you go, no, I don't want broccoli, I want cheesecake. That's telling you you're emotionally hungry. Because if you're physically hungry, you'll eat anything, okay? Because it's meeting that physical need, okay? Another question we've had is, how can I actually start practicing mindful eating? Well, in my program, I actually talk about creating simple rules. If any of you done the earlier programs, you'll know we talk about creating a simple rule, right? Now, obviously, food rules, it has a bad rap. And I'm not talking about the crazy rules you have on any stupid diet. This is about your rules, your plan, your life. And quite often, a lot of them can have about eating behaviors, okay? Now, how do I start practicing this? Well, firstly, you can start by eating slowly without distraction. These things here, worst thing ever for you. Because if you're sat there scrolling on your phone and eating, what's happening is you're not focusing on it. You're not focusing on what you're eating, you're focusing on that screen, that little tiny screen. And that way, your messages are not going from your stomach to your brain because it's not seeing what you're doing. Now, we as human beings are making things, we do multiple things at a time. However, our brain can only focus on one thing at a time. So you need to pay your attention to your food. So pay attention to hunger and fullness cues. Appreciate the colors, smells, flavors, and texture of your food. Try to make eating an act of full attention, not something you do while you're multitasking. Because again, when you eat slower, you're sending the messages to your brain. You're allowing that thing to happen. Okay. One question people ask a lot, of course, as well, is about losing weight. Can mindful eating help me lose weight? Well, here's the thing. Well, mindful eating and anything that I coach isn't maybe a diet or weight loss plan. What it's going to do about all of this, all of my coaching is about enabling you to get a healthier relationship with food. What I do in my coaching programs is work with you to get a healthier relationship. Because the reason you are jumping from diet to diet and plan to plan is because you haven't got a healthy relationship with food. You've got a disordered relationship. Again, like we say, by listening to hunger and fullness cues, what you're going to do is end up eating less rather than just seeing a plate of food and eating it because it's there in front of you. By eating at the right levels and the right times, you're going to stop your binging. Your body's going to get used and understanding that it's not in starvation mode, which again, over time can lead to weight loss. When you think about it as well, if you've got a busy life, okay, some comments there, let's have a look. Brilliant. Good. I'll come to that. Thank you, Kat. So, this is really interesting. Obviously, I can't really comment on that because I've never had that situation. But learning to deal with those, a new feeling. Now, obviously, when you've, depends, I don't know what surgery you had, so I'm not sure. But it's about, for you, it would be like having to, sometimes I think from what I can do from my research and working with clients in a similar situation, you don't necessarily have hunger and fullness because you've got, you have a choice to make on whether or not you eat or drink because you can't do both at the same time. So I think for that, I would be looking at definitely focusing on the senses, the feelings, the flavors, and potentially eating as regularly as you can because of the nature of it. Right. Okay. That's interesting. I think for you, it's definitely about understanding the textures, the flavors, making food seem appealing, because that's going to be the real challenge for you. Because it's like, learning, actually sitting with it a little bit, getting used to it. Because again, over a period of time, you'll have had your recovery process, and you have to eat in a certain way at a certain time with a certain strategy, and that can again have problems in itself. So I think for you, it's probably finding that basis of what does food mean to you. So what does it look like? How is it behaving? How, getting that taste, those textures, because again, bear in mind, the quantity you can have is very much about that ability to enjoy it and that texture and that tasting. So I think for that, definitely, it's going to take a bit of time, and it may be that through the nature of it that you're having to learn. For you, it'd be learning a different set, because in effect, the size of your stomach's so small. Okay. And again, when we think about busy lifestyles, that can also create a problem, because when you grab and go, everything's so convenient, everything's so easy. We don't feel we have the time. But again, I'll use the argument I said before in the previous training. If we've got time to spend on scrolling on this, and we spend hours on our FaceTime or on our screen time, you need to put the attention on the fact that, you're processing the food and you're enjoying it, and it's there for a reason. Okay. And you hear this food for fuel. Okay. The danger with that is you start going, or you start having the wrong connotations. You're having good, you're having bad. It's just, I'm just eating it because I have to eat it. Okay. But when we start thinking about, just in the starting process, try and dedicate one meal to mindful eating. Say, right, okay, I'm going to have, whether it's at breakfast, I'm going to focus on breakfast, or I can focus on the evening meal. I can do these things, but just starting that process of remember to, sitting down at a table with a knife and fork, putting rather than sitting hunched on your lap watching TV. And again, a lot of people I work with, they talk about weight loss and dieting. And again, this is about dealing with your disordered relationship with food. And unlike dieting, mindful eating isn't about restrictions. It isn't about counting calories. Even though you have to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight, it's a scientific fact, okay? But as time goes on, this is about encouraging, it's about understanding how you want to eat, when you want to eat. It's about losing the guilt and anxiety that we have. Remember, we've all been brainwashed into good and bad food. Carbs are bad, fat's bad, protein's bad, nuts are bad, and vegans are great, and all of this stuff we get being told. But actually, we need to think about our relationship and our behaviors with food. That's important. Okay. One thing that I've identified and I've noticed is quite often, I work on a computer. I work from an office. And a lot of people say, well, I don't have time to have lunch. I have to grab it at my desk or whatever. Well, this is about you setting your boundaries. One thing I love to work with my clients on is boundaries and boundary setting. You need to set aside time away from your desk to have your lunch. If you say that isn't possible, right? You've got to create that space. You've got to turn off your computer screen. You've got to turn your phone off. You've got to focus on that food, even if it's 10 minutes. This is about making eating a separate activity, not something you do alongside other tasks. Because the problem when you are doing something else and eating at the same time, you're not allowing your brain to process your eating meals. Okay. And obviously, I'm an emotional eating coach. Okay. And somebody asked the question, can it help me with emotional eating? Well, yes, it can. Because here's the thing. When you eat mindfully, it actually teaches you to pay attention to your emotions. When we talk about if you've seen the journal, I want you to track when you are eating, how you're feeling, what time, what date, your hunger and fullness levels. Because then you can start influencing your eating habits. The process actually encourages you to respond to emotional cues with healthy coping mechanisms rather than food. And then the last point I got asked is, what about how long does it take? Well, the jury's out about whether it takes 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 months to create a habit, okay? But here's the thing. Like any new habit, it takes time and practice. Everyone is different. But here's the thing. With consistent practice, you're going to start noticing changes in a few weeks. Like I said, the goal is progress over perfection. And when you look at the whole coaching that I deliver with my clients on the simple rule process, by creating that and putting this in place, you're going to start understanding that I'm going to have food. Rule might be, I'm never eating in the car, because when I'm eating in the car, I'm not concentrating. I'm going to sit at my table. I'm going to put my knife and fork down between each mouthful. All of these things are about creating this new relationship with food. Because the reason you are here to listen to me and on this call tonight, I've been doing this program, is because you obviously acknowledge you have a disordered relationship with food. Okay, so cool. Has anyone else got any other questions? Because they're the ones I've had sent through to me. I'm trying to see if I can see any from there. If you do, please let me know. I don't know if I can see them on the Telegram group. If you have a question on the Telegram group, just pop it in the comments and I'll do a short reply if needs be in the group. If you are watching this in the Facebook group and you're not in the Telegram group, drop me a message. I'll send you the link, and and we can sort of go from there. But if anybody's got any questions, please sort of let me know, and I would love to sort of help you answer these. There we go. Oh, there we go. That was me on YouTube. So cool. It's worked on YouTube. It's worked on Telegram. I have to stream on Telegram, so I'll have to remember that for tomorrow. And yeah, make sure you watch tomorrow's. So tomorrow, see, mine's gone blank now. We're looking at triggers tomorrow, which is really important, and how they impact. Again, there's some great resources there for you to help. If you want to know more about working with me, drop me a message. I have got a special bonus for you guys at the end of the week, and would love to work with you more. Hopefully you've seen the value and the benefit of the coaching, which is what this is all about. Okay, because my aim is to obviously support and help you and hopefully work with you in the future. Okay, well, if you have any more questions, please ask them drop them in the group, drop them into either Telegram or the Facebook group, and I can always answer them on tomorrow night's Q&A. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow night, it will be 7 p.m. Tonight was 8 p.m. because I have a training for my paid client on 7 p.m. on the Monday, so it was 8 p.m. But for tomorrow night, it'll be at 7 p.m. All right, thank you so much, everyone, and I will see you tomorrow. If you have any questions, don't forget, drop them in the group and I'll answer them. Thanks very much now. Bye.